Alright, so where that camera battery died, I went to play. I know this camera sucks, but so there's that. And there's the pilot bearing. There you go. Alright. Good camera, don't want to charge up, so gotta use the crummy camera. But anyway, I didn't get the whole pilot bearing out of there, so we'll go ahead and do that. Pilot bearing, new one. Put the plate that goes in between the transmission and the engine on before you put the flywheel on. Don't be afraid if you put the flywheel up and it doesn't fit. Bolt holes. You just gotta keep running it around. I'm using my Craftsman to put it back on. I never use my snap-on to put stuff back on unless you're bumping it, because that snap-on will break. It'll break stuff, no problem. This Craftsman, I can hammer this all day and it's not going to break it. But so I mean, it's good for putting stuff on. Snap-on one's good for taking stuff off. But if it don't want to come off, it will break it. Something's going to give with a snap-on one. Now then, I don't know what the torque spec is on these, but the bolts that they had there, they were 12 points though. I don't want 12 points. They said 65 to, they're like 65-ish to 72-ish. So I'm going to set the torque wrench for 70, and that's what I'm going to set these at. I'm good with that. If you want to look up a what exactly it is, you can do that too. Now, of course, when you go to torque these, in the past too, I've just used the air ratchet to put them on, but for the video's sake, I'm going to do it right. Or you can wedge it, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, see that little alignment pin, or even the frame right there, either way, it's it'll wedge up in there. But see how I got a tooth in there, and I'll turn it until that thing hits, and then I'll turn them around. Alright, do this at your own risk, but where's it at? These bolts for your pressure plate. Oh, the pressure plate's under here, dadgummit. Alright. I don't know if you can see, but so these are I think they're 7/16 by 20, but they got a smaller head. If you go to the store and you try to get these bolts and this shank, the head's going to be way bigger. And you see, I don't know if you can see, they just fit in there. So if you go to this, you got to use these bolts for the pressure plate. So, but as you see, they come with the lock washers already on them, and they're worn out, so I'm putting new lock washers on them. Now, your best option is just to go buy some bolts, but I can't get any in town, and I'm getting this job done this weekend. I'm not ordering them and waiting on them, so I'm going to show you how I do it. Well, I've been doing it. Do it at your own risk, because you can't mess these bolts up. So what I do is, because it's going to get hot, I clamp it, and I'm going to cut a slot as deep as I can opposite of that slot. I don't know if you can see that slot in there. What I'm going to do is, opposite side of the slot, get you a punch, I get you a chisel, open that up as much as you can, and then I just take it like this on the opposite side. It's awkward, it's not easy. There you go. And it's off. But you're going to mess the threads up a little bit, if not destroy the whole bolt, if you're not careful. So before you put it in your flywheel, what I've been doing is taking a nut that's the right size and just running it down to clean the threads. Or if you got a tap and die kit, that would be even better if you just run a die down it. And then just put you a new lock washer on there, but do that at your own risk, because if you're not careful, you will tear these bolts up. But if you're in a third world country watching this video, or someplace where there's no parts available, or you're just like me and you're not going to wait until next weekend to get bolts because you're going to get this job done, you can do that, but do it at your own risk. I suggest buying bolts. Before you put the clutch on, make sure that you clean the flywheel with either brake cleaner or alcohol or something like that, because when they ship it, they usually put a film on it to make sure it doesn't rust, and you don't want that to be on there between the clutch. Alright, so now it's clutch time. So wash your hands first, because I already cleaned it. So but what you're going to want to do is See, that thing fits in there like that. And what that's going to do is that's going to go in the pilot bearing. I think that's good enough, hopefully. Wow. So that goes in right there. Won't fall out, but it's gonna hold. But so that's what you do. You put that, holds you up. It's an alignment tool. It aligns it with the pilot bearing. Then you put the pressure plate over it and put the bolts in it. So that's what I want to do. So once you get one in there holding it, you're good. Then once you get two, you're pretty much there. But don't tighten them. Get them all in there first. So then, see, you got it in there loose. You make sure that that's in there nice and straight. And then you just tighten your bolts up around that. And then pull that out. So then the next thing you do now is just jack it up and slide it in. I don't got a good situation going on here. So whatever you see, it's whatever. You may not see it. That's just the way it is.